What's up, people? Welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. And as always, we've got an absolutely massive show for you guys this morning. But before we jump on into it, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the video and let's get straight on into it. So on the show this morning, we are going to be talking a little bit about Harry Maguire, what's going on there. We're also going to be talking about Benjamin Pavard. We've got some updates for you on that one. Some updates on Amrabat and a couple of updates on some outgoings, a couple of updates on some potential signings. Lots and lots to get into. So do get involved in the comments section. Do get involved in the live chat and let's jump straight on into it. Now, I know everyone's probably feeling a little bit negative today, a little bit annoyed after the performance yesterday. Let's just quickly recap on it really quickly. Now, I just wanted to highlight this. I saw an interesting stat this morning that apparently Manchester United have now won 7 consecutive Premier League home games for the first time since November 2017, which was a run of 8. So this was the first time in 6 years that we've won 7 home games. I know it doesn't mean a lot after the performance we watched last night, but let's just try and take a little glimpse of positivity from it. We did get the 3 points. Onana did get a clean sheet. Onana was definitely man of the match for me. Whether, people will say that Wolves got robbed, they should have got a penalty, all of that, okay, fine. But overall, we got the 3 points. I know it wasn't a good watch, was it? It really wasn't. But we move on. Let's just hope we go into the game against Tottenham on Saturday and we play a really good performance. Sancho has to start for me. Sancho looked good when he came on. That was a glimpse of positivity. But other than that, there isn't really much positivities to take from the game last night other than the 3 points. But anyway, let's talk about some of the news, though, because I don't want to dwell on that for too long. Let me know how you are feeling this morning. Let me know if you've kind of let it go or if you're still a little bit annoyed or whatever. Let me know in the comments section. Right, let's talk about Erik ten Hag quickly then. So Erik ten Hag has come out after the game last night and he was obviously asked about the performance and he said, we have laid the foundations, but now we have to raise the bar, be better, and improve the way of playing. He then goes on to say, which is the bit I'm really interested about, he says, we also need to strengthen our squad. So Erik ten Hag has openly come out after the game last night, talking to Sky Sports, and says, we need to strengthen the squad. So he's crying out for signings. Rival fans will say, oh, you've spent 150 million, you spent 60 million on an injured striker. As Manchester United fans, we know after watching that game last night that we still need we still need more players. We need another 1, maybe 2 midfielders. We arguably need a whole new front line off the back of what we saw last night. Obviously, I know we've got Højlund to come in. We've got people like Sancho. We have got options up front, but the front three did not work at all last night, did they? Rashford didn't work as a striker. Antony didn't have a great game, and Garnacho didn't have a great game. None of them had a good game. So the fact that he's had to come out after that game, after a win, take it in mind, and he's had to say we also need to strengthen the squad. He's still saying we need to sign players, which is good. I think that's good that he's come out and said that. If he'd have come out and said, we played really well, we've bought all our players now, we don't need anybody else, I would be a little bit worried. I would. But the fact that he does admit that we need more players, he's crying out to the board, to the Glazers, to Richard Arnold, John Murtaugh, saying we need to strengthen the squad. So that's good. And I 100% agree with him. We definitely need to sign some more players. We've got a super chat coming in here. So K-Football says, get this SpongeBob squarehead out of my club. I assume you're talking about Harry Maguire there. We will talk about Maguire in a minute, everybody. So do hold on. But thank you for the support, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so I just thought that quote was interesting because some people might think, rival fans probably think that we've spent enough money this summer. Some will probably saying, oh, you spent 150 million, you should be winning the league. It's a failure if you don't win the league. But when you see Chelsea spending $1 billion in one year, they've just bought Moises Caicedo, they've just bought Romeo Lavia, and I seen a story this morning saying that apparently Chelsea are now going to go and buy a striker and another 2. I think they're going to buy another winger and a midfielder or something like that. Chelsea are now going to go and buy another 3 players after just spending over 170 million on 2 midfielders. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. It just shows how the league has changed, doesn't it? Manchester City are going to strengthen. Everybody's going to strengthen now. So we need to go out and get this Amrabat deal done this week. We will be talking about that in a minute. And then even then, I think we need another striker. I think we probably need to bring in another centre-back. There's plenty of positions that we need to address. Obviously, Lisandro Martinez did go off injured last night as well, which is a slight concern, which we are going to talk about now. He went off at half-time. I thought it was because he was on a yellow card. That's what I believe to be, right? But Rafael Varane has come out after the game and Erik ten Hag has come out after the game and he says, he's asked why Martinez came off and he says it was a little problem on his ankle tendon. We'll see, but I don't think it is a big deal. We'll see how it is this week. So, I don't know. Hopefully Lisandro Martinez is all right because he's absolutely essential to our play. He really is. So it was an injury that forced him to come off. It wasn't anything to do with the yellow card or any disciplinary matter. Obviously, we need to wait and see what Erik ten Hag comes out with. You know, he's usually quite hush-hush about injuries, so I guess we'll probably just have to wait until Saturday and see if he's in the matchday squad for the Tottenham game. Hopefully he is. I'm really, really hope he is, because I think without Lisandro Martinez, I know Lindelof is good and I like Lindelof, but I think we're a lot more progressive and a lot more kind of forward-thinking when we've got Martinez there, because he does bring the ball forward and all the rest of it. So let's keep our fingers and toes crossed that Lisandro Martinez is okay for the game on Saturday. And I just wanted to take 1 minute as well to say, Sancho, when he came on the pitch yesterday, looked absolutely incredible. He did. Out of everybody on the pitch in the attacking areas, he completely outshone them. So big ups to Sancho. Let's give him credit where it's due. Sancho looked good last night. Let's hope he starts against Tottenham, and let's hope he has a really good game, because the front three who started the game last night did not do us any favours at all. They were really poor. Sancho comes on and he looked really good. So let's all just, you know, acknowledge how well Sancho played. I know it wasn't for a very long time, but I do think when he came on, he did change the game. So big ups to Sancho, and hopefully he starts against Tottenham on the weekend. Right, let's move on to something else though. Let's talk about Harry Maguire then. I know that's why a lot of people are here. I can't believe this story that's come out this morning. I can't. It's coming out from all of the different UK newspapers, and they are reporting that Harry Maguire has apparently demanded a 15 million payoff from Manchester United in order to join West Ham. Now, we've been talking about this on the channel for probably about a month, maybe even 2 months. It's the very, very beginning of the transfer window, and I knew that something like this would come. So don't, you know, I know everyone's going to point the finger at Harry Maguire, but at the end of the day, the thing you have to remember is Ed Woodward was the one who gave out his stupid contract. Harry Maguire was given £190,000 per week base salary, okay? And there was a clause in his contract that if we qualified for the Champions League, this is for all the players, it's not just Harry Maguire. So he's on 190, but if we qualify for the Champions League, which we obviously have this season, they'll all get a 20% bonus, right? So he gets an extra 20%. So that means Harry Maguire's on about 230 grand per week now. West Ham are willing to pay him 100. Okay? He's got 2 years left on his deal. So what you have to work out is about 130 grand a week difference. You do 130 grand a week times 52 weeks times 2 years. And the calculation of that is he's got 2 years left on his deal. If he joins West Ham, he's going to be earning £130,000 per week less, which then means he's owed about £15 million. So that's where this figure's come from. It's obviously very, very frustrating, but I don't want to say I don't blame him, but like, imagine if that was you. You're going from Manchester United. You've been thrown out of Manchester United. You've been stripped of the captaincy. You've been, you've been ultimately not made a fool of, because it's his own doing, but he's the 5th choice centre-back behind Luke Shaw. He's lost the captaincy. His England thing's on the line. And now Manchester United are trying to ultimately get him out of the club. And they're expecting him to earn less than half of what he's currently being paid. Now, I guess, we're all sat at home saying he's still on 100 grand a week. It's a disgrace. Does he not care about his football? But I think we all know that Harry Maguire doesn't really care about his football. He's only won 1 trophy in his career. He's not a serial winner. He's not somebody who wants to better himself. He's not somebody who wants to challenge himself, is he? He's been relegated more times than he's won trophies. So that just shows a little bit about his character and about the mentality that he brings. Us giving him the captaincy and giving him those wages is our fault. Well, not me or you, but you know what I mean. It's Ed Woodward, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, those people who gave him that stupid contract. So we can't blame anybody else but them. I know it's easy to blame Harry Maguire. I know it's easy to say, get him out of my club and all the rest of it. But would you not do the same if you were in his position? Obviously, I want him to leave, but I just think Manchester United will have to pay this. They will. So, if we're getting 30 million from West Ham and we've got to give them 15, we've got to give Harry Maguire 15, that means we are left with about £15 million from that sale, which then does Erik ten Hag think, can I actually get someone better than Harry Maguire for £15 million? Answer me that in the chat now. If we sell Harry Maguire and we're only left with £15 million from the sale, can we actively go and sign someone better for that? Benjamin Pavard's going to cost more than that. Todibo's going to cost more than that. And if we're all sat here saying we need a new striker, we might need new wingers, we might need this, we might need that, does that then become maybe it's not worth doing? Maybe that's what's the conversations that are being had, and that's what I wanted to ask you guys this morning. Because ultimately, if you actually work this out, it means that Manchester United will only actually receive around £15 million after they've given Harry Maguire his payoff. Is that good? I don't know. I'm not sure. It does change things up a little bit. So, yeah. And then we've got another story coming out from, again, journalists in the UK this morning saying that apparently Harry Maguire remains unhappy about his treatment at the hands of manager Erik ten Hag. I mean, that's where the pride bit comes into it. If you're unhappy, if you want to fight for your England squad, you just bite the bullet, you move to West Ham and you play football. To be like, to pretty much to hold us hostage and say, unless you give me £15 million, I'm staying. Like, he clearly just doesn't have any pride, though. We know that. I don't know why we're all surprised. As I said, he's won more. He's been relegated more times than he's won a trophy. He's won one trophy in his whole career, and that was last season in the Carabao Cup, and he barely played any football. So are we really surprised that this man's got no ambition? He's putting money before football. I'm not surprised at all. And yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with this one. I still think he will leave the club. I just think the deal is going to be a lot less sweet than we had hoped for. You know, the 30 million we thought we were going to get is going to quite quickly be reduced to something a lot smaller because we have to give him this ridiculous paycheck to leave. But let me know how you feel about that one in the comments section. I assume everybody is unhappy about that, as am I, but there's not really too much we can do about it, is there? It's up to the club to sort out. So hopefully they manage to resolve this one. Everybody who's just joined in the last few minutes, please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. It really does help support the community, so do get involved if you haven't already. I mean, the other alternative is if he's unwilling to take, you know, this paycheck, a smaller pay cut, maybe you just send him to the reserves. Maybe you say, Harry, either you go, you play first team football, you're still going to earn a lot of money, you'll play European football, or we're going to put you in the reserves. That's what I would do. I would do that, but whether or not Manchester United would do that, I don't know. I don't think they would, personally. I think they want to try and hold face a little bit, you know. Harry Maguire, I don't know. I just feel like they won't do that, but I can understand people in the chat are saying they would do that as well. If he stays at Manchester United, you know, he's done. He's done. He'll have 2 years left of his deal. He'll leave the club as a free agent probably at the age of 32. Probably go to, I don't know. I don't know who would take him at that point. So this is his opportunity. Yeah, I mean, as Chris says in the chat, that's, you know, my rough calculation this morning doesn't even include agent fees. It doesn't include all the rest of it. You know, we might literally be like £10 million we're left with after we've kind of broken down all of the costs and stuff to get him out of the club. So I can see why there is hesitation here, because name me one player at centre back available in the market at the moment for £10-15 million. There isn't one. I don't think that's better than Harry Maguire. I know we don't think Harry Maguire's good enough, but if you honestly think there's someone better available in the market for £10 million, let me know in the comment section, because I don't think they exist. So that's obviously what Harry Maguire and Erik ten Hag are having to you know, weigh up here. It's not as simple as sell Harry Maguire and you then have the money to buy Jean-Claire Todibo. It's sell Harry Maguire and you probably still need to add about £20 million to your budget to get Jean-Claire Todibo. So I get what's happening here, and I know it's frustrating, but it is what it is, right? But on the flip side of that, we have got a confirmed a confirmed sale that has gone through today. So we can confirm that Matis Kovar has officially joined Bayern Leverkusen for €9 million today. That deal has been done. It's been confirmed by the club. Again, a little bit strange. I don't really know why he's been sold, but €9 million in the bank. When you add that to the money we got from Fred, it was what, €15 million? That's around €24 million that we've raised in the last week. I know it's not a huge amount of money, but that is enough money to go and get Amrabat. So obviously I wish Matis Kovar all the best. I'm a little bit disappointed that he has gone, because I did think he was a good player. I thought he was someone who could be the backup goalkeeper. It looks like Dean Henderson's back from injury. He was on the bench last night against Wolves, so it looks like Dean Henderson will now be staying, which I know some of you will be unhappy about. But yeah, obviously let's just wish Matis Kovar all the best. Hopefully he goes there, has a really good career. Manchester United have included a sell-on clause in his contract, so if we do want to go and get him back in a few years' time, I think we get first refusal. So if he goes on to be this world-class goalkeeper, Manchester United can go back to Bayern Leverkusen and say we want to sign him back, and we can bring him back to Manchester United. So let's just send him some positivity. Let's hope he does well. Let's hope he has a good career, and maybe one day we'll see him back in a Manchester United shirt if he ever becomes good enough to be, you know, of that level. €9 million though, yeah, it's not a hell of a lot of money, and I think that's including add-ons as well. I'm trying to get the full breakdown of the deal at the moment, but the best case scenario is €9 million including add-ons for Matis Kovar, which is about £7 million total package. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure what to think about it. We seem to be selling off a lot of our youth players, and that's probably because they're the easiest players to sell. You know, it looks like we're going to sell Alvaro Fernandez, the young left back. Obviously, we've sold Zidane Iqbal. We're selling a lot of the youth players, and the reason for that is because they're on low wages and they're easier to sell. but we're not getting a lot of money for them. When you see people like Manchester City, they're getting 20 million for backup goalkeepers you've never heard of. So I don't know. The thing I just want you guys to remember, okay, is when people say financial fair play and all of this stuff, we did a video on the channel a couple of days ago and we broke down how much money we had made from sales so far this window and how much we'd spent. Our net spend at the moment is only about £90 million, around that, 90 to £100 million. So we definitely should be able to buy more players. Chelsea have just gone and spent 170 million on 2 midfielders, right? We should definitely be able to sign more people without having to sell all of our youth products to raise a tiny little bit of cash. But it is what it is. We just got to move on from it. We can't dwell on it for too long. Right, let's move on to the next story, though. Let's talk about Benjamin Pavard. So there's a story coming out from Fabrizio Romano this morning, and he's saying Amadou Onana. So it's in relation to the Onana situation as well. Obviously, Manchester United are reportedly in talks to sign Onana from Everton. He says Amadou Onana is appreciated, but Sofian Amrabat remains the main option for Manchester United. The player has been waiting for Manchester United since the end of June. So he's still waiting, as we all know. He doesn't want to go to Atletico. He doesn't want to go to Juventus. He's waiting for Manchester United. That's the number one target, which I get. He's waiting and he wants to come and play for Erik ten Hag, which is obviously great. I don't even see why Amadou Onana has been thrown into the mix here. Everton want 50 to 60 million pounds for him. How on earth are we expected to do that type of deal? Unless Scott McTominay goes, where are we going to get the money from to buy Onana? It just seems like a bit of a strange conversation. And maybe it's a negotiation tactic from Manchester United to bring down the price of Amrabat. Maybe they're, telling Fiorentina that they're also talking to Everton about Onana. I don't know. I'm not sure what the hell Manchester United are doing. We've been speaking about Amrabat on this channel for what feels like a lifetime. I think maybe a month, 2 months. So yeah, hopefully we reach a conclusion to this deal this week. Obviously, there is the potential that Liverpool now going for Amrabat. I know they already went in for him at the beginning of the window and he rejected them. But if Manchester United take too much longer, there is always the possibility that another club does come in for Amrabat. He has rejected multiple offers, though, you have to remember. He's rejected Saudi Arabia, Juventus, Atletico Madrid. He rejected Liverpool earlier on in the transfer window. But if we don't get this deal done, I think this week or next, I don't think we'll get him. Because you've got to remember, right, we've only got... The transfer window closes 2 weeks on Thursday. So there's only 2 weeks left of the transfer window. So we are getting towards that end of... we're getting towards that period now where we have to do business. Maguire needs to go this week. If McTominay's going to go, he's got to go this week or next week. We need to be able to allow time to bring in replacements. And at the moment, we haven't really done that. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what goes on with that one. In relation to Benjamin Pavard, there's a story coming out this morning that apparently Benjamin Pavard is desperate to move to Manchester United. But it's saying that the minimum amount of money that Bayern Munich will accept is £35 million. It's about 40 million euros. I mean, £35 million. It's a lot of money. It really, really is. And when you go back to the conversation we said earlier about Harry Maguire and about, yes, we'll sell him for 30, but he wants 15 million to leave the club. That means to get Benjamin Pavard, you would have to add about 20 million pounds into your budget, It's not as simple as sell Maguire and we get all of that money and then we go and buy Benjamin Pavard, It's going to cost you a little bit more money. It's just frustrating, it is. It really, really is frustrating. But I do feel positive going forward that we are giving people more realistic wages. I know Onana and Rasmus Højlund are on like 100 grand a week, roughly around that type of price. Obviously, Mason Mount got a stupid contract. Mason Mount was on, I think, 250. But generally, these new signings we're making, they seem to be on lower wages. And we need to just continue that trend going forward. We need to make sure that we're not overpaying for players. And we're not giving them stupid wages, because we've seen the mess we're in here with Maguire. We can't let this happen again. We really can't, because otherwise it's just going to keep continuing. It's just going to keep spiraling around. But yeah, I mean, obviously after the game last night, I appreciate people are annoyed, and this morning has been quite slow with news, because I think a lot of people are just really, really shocked after what we saw yesterday. They are, and a lot of people are disappointed. I think some of you had really big expectations for the season. We did a poll on the community section, and I can't remember the exact results, but I think it was about 50% of you thought we were going to win the Premier League, which I thought was very ambitious. But it shows how much people believe in Erik ten Hag and how much people thought we were going to kick on this season. And I still think we can kick on this season, but I just think the next 2 weeks of the window is so important. If we can go out and get some good business done, if Maguire goes and we bring in a good centre back, if Amrabat comes in, if we get another striker, then I do think we can. I I do think we can kick on, and I do think we can have a good season. So I'm not, it's not all doom and gloom. It's one game. We got 3 points. We've done better than we did last season. This time last year, we just lost to Brighton. I was at that game. It was absolutely miserable. We then went on to lose 4-0 to Brentford. So we're in a better position points-wise than we were last season. And on paper, we have a better squad as well, don't we? So hopefully we kick on. Hopefully, Richard Arnold, John Murta get themselves into gear. Yeah, I still think we're going to get a surprise signing at the end of the window. I don't know who it is, but I can just see us getting this kind of marquee signing. Give it the last week or two of the window, us going in for some big name player. That's what I think will happen. Obviously, there was a lot of protests going on at the game last night. Glazers out protests. There is going to be a massive protest at the Nottingham Forest game. There's going to be a 60-minute sit-in, so all of the fans are going to stay in the stadium for 60 minutes after kick-off protesting against the Glazers. We just need to keep up this momentum, and we just need to pray that there is something going on behind the scenes, and as soon as the transfer window closes, they announce a new owner. That's what we need to hope for, because if that happens, then we can just start thinking towards January. That is still the main message here. The main message is to get the Glazers out. That's what needs to happen. That is the priority here for me. Right, I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Just a quick 20-minute one just to bring you the latest news. But please do smash a like on the video before you go. And please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please do get in the comments section and let me know how you feel about all the topics we discussed today. Let me know if you're happy about the 9 million euros deal for Matis Kovar to Bayern Leverkusen. Let me know how you feel about Harry Maguire demanding £15 million to leave Manchester United. Let me know how you feel about Erik ten Hag saying last night after the game that we also need to strengthen the squad. So he's crying out for more signings. And also let me know when you think Amrabat will join the club. This has been Daily Red Devil. I've been Kieran, and I'll catch you guys later on.